To TFR F1 here in TFR Racing League. I am here today, we're in Spain, and I'm here today joined by my co-commentator Stevie. As you can see, we have a very damp Spain here, which is odd. Yeah. So it seems like it reminds me of the F2 race a few weeks ago in Spain, where it was absolutely chucking it down. But it will be interesting to see. We're here with another full quali this week, as we have decided to do again, which is I like full quali, and I kind of find it amusing when other drivers crash out in Q1 and then they have to sit there for 45 minutes. So, like last week. Oh, that was funny. I felt bad at the same time. I didn't. So we're waiting for the first driver to come out. It looks like it's going to be one of the Ferraris. I think that's going to be thermal white in the Ferrari. Oh no, there's a Mercedes going out there. I think that might be No, it's not. Never mind. What car is that? I don't have a clue what car that is. Renault of DJ, and they're going to be on full wet. So I don't think this. I think this might be a full wet qualifying. So they're all going to get probably a free set of choice of tyres in the race, so that'll be nice. We've got quite a few quick drivers here today. Obviously, Joe Loke, which is square. We've got Tadpole. We've got Corey. We've got Golden Fast, who's Square's new teammate, who's probably about the exact same pace as Square, as I said last week, but he just didn't have a very good race last week, so he just kind of But predictions today? You got any predictions? He didn't have a very good race last week. He got absolutely shafted. Yeah. Alright. Yeah. I'm saying it's going to be maybe a 1-2 for the Alfa Romeos, and I can see someone else like getting a podium. Maybe like I can see Carthagena getting his first podium, for sure. I just think if he can find the pace maybe out there, he'll be able to grip up and see if he can find that. Well, DJ obviously got a podium last week, which was a shock for his first ever race. That was good. As DJ's on his first flying lap now, I need to put the delta and stuff on. There we go. He's taking your seat, yeah. To be honest, when I heard about it, I was annoyed because I was hoping I enjoyed you in F1, but now you're back down to F2 with me. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he shows he's improving every week, every day. Like, he's always on the game. Like, I'll never join a party and I'll ask him to play another game, and he's always like, "No, I'm on F1." And I'm like, "Alright, fair enough. Practice on F1." And he's like, so yeah, so he's always trying his best to get better at the game, which shows a lot of courage for the drivers to do. But he sets 30.7, which then gets beaten by Akbar, which then will be beaten, maybe put him split by one of the Mercedes. No, but Spence goes and separates them both with a 34. He's been very quick these last few weeks, Spence, for Racing Point. So that would be another driver that could be up there in the top 5 positions maybe today, which will be interesting to watch. Yeah. Maybe the setup might be wrong or something. I don't know. There's the setups. Obviously, people are thinking it's Spain. It's going to be dry, but let's be honest. It's the F1 game. Anything can happen. So, yeah. Wee is obviously going up there with the 129.1, which is a good lap for Wee's. That's not Bass. That's DJ. It looks like. Yeah. Just gonna get everyone out the way. I think that might be Toby that's now going around on his lap, so we'll stay on board with Toby to the end of his lap for the final segment. Getting a little bit loose on the rear end there, but he literally grabbed his 5 minutes before the race, so this will be fun to watch. And that's invalidation of the last corner for Toby. But we'll watch him go across the line to see what he does. Does a 30.1. That would have put him P5, which wouldn't have been bad for Toby. Square obviously messing up his lap, it looks like. He's already 1.9 seconds up on his lap, so we'll go on we'll go on board with the championship contender this year, Square, who's going to be trying to probably battle with his teammate maybe, and Corey Marshall, Corey's been stunning this season, apart from last race, which he sadly crashed out in from a stupid safety car restart, I think it was. Like there was the second safety car restart seemed a bit hectic. There was people are trying to get moves done because it was like right near the end of the race, and people just trying to get moves done. And like I think there was 4 crashes in one corner. If there were 4 different collisions as well, which was a bit over the top. But it looks like Weeze at the moment is staying at the top. Karthikeyan going second with a 129.2, so he obviously stayed out and got another lap together. Already another 1/10 up through the first sector, so he's obviously hoping he can find some pace and stay into that get into Q2. But I think them 129s might be good enough to get into Q2. So yeah. Yeah, definitely. Who is on a lap at the moment? Looks like Thermal JD is going to be coming around to finish his lap in the final sector. Can he hook up this right-left chicane, sorry, into another left-right chicane, which is probably my least favourite corner on the track because it's just so technical. If you mess that up, that's half your lap already ruined, even though it's only like 3 or 4 corners. Goes across the line, P4 with a 129.2. A lot of luck in the quali sessions, but in the race, when it comes to the race, he hasn't really had the race pace to keep with top runners, which is a shame. So hopefully today he can find some grip and just try to stick out. And he slides it. That's going to be him to the wall. And he's out of Q1, and that's going to be him out of qualifying. I caught that on stream. That is just lost it on the long right hander, which is a big shame for Thermal. As I say, that is absolutely commentator's curse, but that's Thermal White. Yeah, no wing damage, but he just obviously lost it on the exit. Yeah. Very easy to do around there, obviously, because of the quick left and then straight up onto this right, this back straight. But he's going to be wanting to call them tyres down in the wet track part of the track. Yeah. Oh, I think that might be Ollie. Oh no, that's Ludicrous. Obviously, we've got a lone driver in at the Hassel moment because of Crispy's absence, which is, yeah, so. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, he's nearly lost it again. He's lost it into the gravel there. Yeah, no, he hasn't had the best start of the season he could have wanted, so maybe he can pick up today and try to maybe get into them points positions and pick some points up for that Renault team. Obviously, DJ at the moment got a lot of the weight of the team on his shoulders to impress the team manager with his first couple of appearances, after sadly taking Stevie's spot, which is a shame. But yeah, 100%. Obviously, with Albon, even in real life, that like I don't even know, but. Oh, I'm not comparing you to Albon. That's really mean if I did. Doesn't look like Dino's got the pace in the way at the moment, though. Like, he's still like a long way off Tadpole, which the Renault World Champion at the moment hasn't had the greatest start to the season either. You haven't had your thing in, have you? Well, that's a great start.
Yay!
Good start, yeah.
And this is the benefit of having a full quali, because we had ample amounts of time to be able to work out that audio issue. Hello, guys. I am here. I am talking.
Just ghosting. Yeah.
I'm so glad I have the stream up on my laptop to my left, so I could see that message. Thank you, Zach, for pointing that out.
That's Golden fast in the Alfa Romeo. Got unvalidated lap on that last couple of sectors. Spence not on a lap. Looks like Corey might be on a lap.
Spence was slow just a minute ago.
Yeah, I think he's just let a couple of drivers through that were on a faster lap.
Yeah.
Tadpole 1/7 up on his time here, so that could put him, if he can improve a bit more, he could overtake Karthikeyan and maybe looking for the 28s. If he can even just get in 28s, that puts you up 2 positions there. So, and Tadpole's lost it. He saves it though. Good save for Tadpole. Well, he's onto the exit road there, which that means he's
yeah, you don't really want to be on the AstroTurf. That's going to be slippery as all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we'll go on board with the founder of TFR, Finn, for his lap, which he hasn't set a lap yet, so he's going to be trying to find his way into that Q2. I don't know if we have a weather report. I'll try to find out.
Yeah, no idea what the weather is. Could be.
According to Zach, I haven't even entered my audio.
Yeah, obviously we have no idea what the weather is doing, because obviously we've seen a lot of cars slipping and sliding around. It could be that the race is going to be dry, so a lot of these people may be trying to qualify on a dry setup. Of course, the lack of downforce does make it a lot more slippery in the wet, but obviously when you come over to the dry, you don't need that extra downforce, and it's just going to cause you time down the main straight. And unfortunately, with the way the track's designed here in Spain, the main straight is your best chance of overtaking, so obviously every bit of downforce you can remove off that car just makes it much easier to overtake during the race and get up those vital positions.
Yeah, 100%. If it's a dry race, it will look like it's going to be a very hard one-stop. If people are going to start on these softer tyres, if they're going to start on their softer tyres, it's going to be a hard one-stop. But if they maybe can get on their mediums are going to last a lot longer than them softs, so they're going to be able to maybe find a way forwards. But it looks like a lot of people will start on the mediums if it stays wet for the rest of the quali, it looks like.
Alright, and we've got confirmation from the Williams team manager. It is a dry race, so that will explain a lot of lack of grip from these drivers. Then that will explain why people are slipping and sliding all over the place.
Yeah, they're going to be looking for that time in the race instead of thinking. But that's Corey Marshall! Retired from the race, for having a session, but he's obviously in the pits thinking that time is going to be good enough, which that probably will be. So
yeah,
it looks like Joe Loki's on the outlap. So we're going board with Square for his. Oh, nearly losing on that final corner though. Entry. That looks like he's validated there, but that's just for his outlap. So he's got the 2 Renaults in front of him of DJ, who's just come out of the pits, but he's got to get out of the way for his teammate, who's down in 18th at the moment. So Bass is also going to need to find some time in his lap, even though he hasn't even set a lap yet. But we will go back on board with Joe.
Oh, just
10 seconds up on his time, apparently.
Just
half a second. There we go.
Just to throw more complications into the setup, it also, I think if I'm reading this correctly, Q3 is also a dry quali. So definitely people wanting to run the dry setup then if they want to get on pole.
Yeah, that'll throw a lot into the mix. Seeing people's pace just go up and up and up, maybe the track going to dry out maybe at the end of the Q2, just throw something into the mix.
Yeah, I mean, if we have a drying track into Q2, it means you really want to save your run to the very last. You want to be the last one across the line, because then you have the best possible track conditions to be able to set the fastest lap time. Of course, it's
Yeah.
not so important in Q2 because at the end of the day, you just need to qualify within the top 10 to be able to move through to Q3. But it will be something on the driver's mind when they're trying to plan when they want to go out. Of course, we are running equal car performance, so every little bit of advantage you can gain could see a massive difference in position.
Yeah, 100%. I know the Alfa Romeo boys have been trying to tweak their setup all week to find that extra little tenth every even hundredth of a second just in that setup. So they're confident with the setup obviously this weekend. So they will be trying to find as much time as they can. So Square goes to P2, 2/10 behind Corey still. So it looks like Corey has found a bit of pace in the wet, but
have slow in sector 3, but I think that's them just backing off there before starting a lap. That will be Ollie, the only pass left in the session.
Down in P18 at the moment, Ollie. So Ollie's got a lot of time to find. So hopefully he can find that.
Yeah, almost 2 seconds off the back of 17th. This is really poor from Ollie. He really needs to try and find some pace and get himself up the order.
Also, it looks like DJ's going to be out of Q1. Still in the pits, and there's only 1 minute 19 left. Oh, and that's Ollie spun on the first corner. And that's him. That's 100% going to be him out of qualifying. For his last race in F1, that is not going to be good. Obviously, if you haven't heard, Ollie is retiring from racing for now, and maybe he's gonna go managerial apparently. So yeah, so maybe we might see him back in the future in maybe a couple of seasons time, but for now it looks like he's gonna go back into that managerial spot.
Of course, it'll be interesting to see where Ollie goes if he does go managerial. Of course, we've had the Ferrari group absolutely fall apart recently, so there may be some teams up to grabs, because I know all of that went over to the Renault manager, and then maybe a little bit too much for I can't remember who runs Renault at the moment, but obviously, yeah, there's some opportunities to teams. Obviously, F2 you might be able to pick up a couple of teams as well. Obviously, F3's just fallen through as well, although I don't think those teams got owned, did they? They were just there. But
yeah, no, they weren't connected to anything. They were just there so the managers could find academy drivers ready for maybe try to bring them up into their F2 teams. I know that Square did find a couple, but I think they fell through eventually because I don't think they met his standards. But yeah, looks like DJ is going to be. It looks like the timer glitch has happened again, so it looks like DJ set of a lap. So maybe he'll be able to. That second bottom 3 need to get into these 29s. If not, they're going to be dropping down into that position.
I mean, my screen's also saying quali's over, but DJ is out there, of course, so I don't know what's happened with the timing glitch. Codemasters really needs to bug this, but it does look like then DJ will get a lap, which is good, because I was worried that that was the end of qualifying, because basically everyone that was going to be knocked out were in the pit lane. But it does look like DJ and Finn will get another lap. Of course, Ollie's not going to be able to go through with that broken front wing. He's going to give it his best shot, but with a massive lack of downforce, even with a wet setup, you just lose far too much from the front end, and you're just going to be off the track almost every single corner, especially the fast corners around here. So
yeah,
really all eyes on DJ and Finn to see if they can get themselves up the order.
Doesn't look like DJ got the best exit off that the corner after the fast right-hander into that like long sweeping hairpin. So if he can't find the time here, he will be at a Q1, and that will make him lost it there a little bit on the rear end. So he's going to need to pick up. He's obviously pushing the car a lot to get out of this Q2, and that's going to be him out of Q1 100%. Dipped his tyre in the gravel there. So
Finn losing the rear through the chicane, but he's coming up to finish his time.
Losing the car everywhere here. Maybe his
he's gone straight on in the final corner. Finn's off.
Oh, that's Finn 100% going to be out of
He's also retired on track, which is a big no-no.
Which I think he was the one that made the rule for that. So I'm sure that will be investigated by the stewards at the end of the race.
It's impeded
But it does look like DJ's going to be coming around the final corner now. Is he going to be able to find enough time to get into Q2? No, he's not. It doesn't look like.
I don't know.
DJ's going to miss out by 1 position.
I don't know if that was dead batteries on Finn's part or what, but he just went straight on at the final corner, like no effort to take the corner at all. And then obviously the retiree there coming back onto the track. Obviously I mentioned the broken front wing on Ollie not being able to set a lap time, but Finn's AI car got right in the way of Ollie on his final lap there, and Ollie couldn't improve. Whether it was because of that or because of the broken wing, who knows? But yeah, not great there.
Yeah. Obviously, we're having the two crashes of the retirements of Luda and JD, so them two are going to be automatically out of qualifying with that. Obviously, a bad day for Williams and Haas. Both cars getting knocked out in Q1. And the man that got a podium last week in qualifying, who I know has been sweating this game out this whole week, also getting knocked out, DJ, which is a big shock.
Yeah, it could just be the wet weather, not... Obviously, maybe all the practice put in, obviously in the dry. As I said, Spain is a typically sunny country, so the rain is a bit unusual here. But you know, you got to prepare for this, because the rain does come up, and the rain just throws so many curveballs and so many more challenges at you that you actually need to put more practice in on the wet track than you do the dry, in my opinion.
Yeah. Obviously, only having 13 drivers in Q2 because of the JD's and Luda's crashes, so that gives obviously only 3 people going to be knocked out in this session, so that maybe gives some people a bit more hope to squeezing into that top 10 positions. Obviously, Bass having probably his one of his better qualifyings, maybe hopefully he can find some more pace and get into that top 10 knockout.
Yeah, once again though, we see the usual pairing at the top of the timings, Corey Marshall and Square. Both up there challenging each other at the moment for pole position, so it'll be interesting to see what their fight goes to into Q3. But yeah, obviously we're looking for 3 people to knock out.
Looks like Thermal White's going to be the first driver to come out on them wet set of compound time, maybe just trying to find a banker lap to push on and try to get a lap at the end of this session and try to find some more time on his lap.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be a dry end of Q2 though.
Yeah, we obviously don't have that information here, but both of the Ferrari drivers are out, so whether they want to put in a banker in case it doesn't dry out, I don't know. Of course, these drivers have a lot more information in front of them than we do, so we're just having to play it based on visuals, so we have no idea what the weather's going to do towards the end. But it does look like more drivers are coming out, so potentially the conditions are going to stay the same, obviously, though we don't see the normal rush to get out the garage, so some are holding back and just seeing what it's going to be like, I guess.
Yeah, if you can, if people are going to get caught out on these wet tyres, maybe the end of the dry tyres come out, not going to have enough time to get into that pit, get them tyres on. That's going to make them that Q2.
Not only that, but if they've also got dry setups on, then obviously all the running they're risking a crash. And and it turns out that your wet time wasn't good enough because the track's dried out, you've just thrown away a qualifier for going out for no reason.
Yeah. So if it's going to dry out, I'd definitely stay in the pits and maybe try to find just wait or something to get top of the qualifying king. But go back broad with because that'll be the 4 in the wet. That's not bad for first sector. Obviously, this part is very difficult. Left switch to a right up onto the back. Lost it. All it was straight there onto the back straight. This could be another overtaking spot down the inside, maybe into one of these corners. Maybe we could see a couple of good overtakes, maybe around the outside. Obviously, next season that corner is going to see a big change with the turn is going to be more smooth. That hairpin is at the moment. That's it, I think. Yeah. Oh, he's lost it. He's going to be in the wall. Oh. That was which. If he couldn't have saved, if he didn't save that, that would have been 100% out of qualifying. So that was right there.
What I was saying about obviously the risk in running on the wets is you have moments like that. That is very common to happen in the wet, and it could have written off the entirety of qualifying. You need to be careful.
Joe Loke's just gone and beaten Wheeze by 100th of a second. So that shows how close this top few positions actually are.
Really like how Weeze is a rookie this year and is already put him in a fight to score. You know, first year into F1, and look what 100 with a big name.
As it looks like Joe Luke's teammate is just heading towards the back shell. Golden Fast has I've been sat apart with him for probably a week or two now, and he seems very confident. Obviously last week he didn't have a race he would have, but if they could get together and work themselves way through that pack, maybe they could get up them front few positions and maybe work away from the pack, maybe try to work away from Corey. But I think Corey's going to try to stay with them as much as he can, because he knows them to make a mistake while they're working together, they can tangle, and he'll be able to maybe just push through and try to find the win today. So it looks like Golden Fast is going to come around the last corner. It's going to be a 28-7, which is going to be P3 just behind Weeze. Them top three only separated by 300th of a second, which is absolutely nothing. But we'll go on board with the current... he's actually not the current championship leader anymore, I think. Joe Loke is now. So I think Square is actually the current championship leader.
I have that information in front of me. Just give me a sec. Yeah, Square currently leads the championship by 5 points over Corey Marshall.
Yeah, I think he took that last week, obviously, with the win in Zandvoort, and Corey Marshall obviously retiring because of a crash. But he's going to improve and go over 8/10 ahead of Joe Loke. So Corey's showing his pace in the wet, so he must be the... I think we've found the league's wet master at the moment. But, as we say, Q2 is just a lead into Q3, which... that looks like the winning world champion. Tadpole is off.
Yeah, Tadpole went off. Turn 3.
He still haven't had the best season he could have hoping for. Like last season, he was absolutely great. He was battling with Square, and taking the world championship obviously in Brazil last year. But that looks like it's a Ferrari
round as well. That was
thermal 3. I think that's thermal white. Yep. In the same place, it looked like thingy went off last time. I think that was golden. Was it? I can't remember.
I can't remember. I think it might have been Tadpole, but I'm not 100% sure. Could be wrong.
Yeah, I think it was. Was it?
I don't know.
I don't know, but that's, I think that's Bass off in the gravel at the moment. They're placing the wrong... He is...
Oh, that's Square off as well.
Space.
Turn 2. So a lot of people are losing it in the wet conditions here.
Obviously finding it a lot harder.
Yeah. Square's going for a bit of drifting round turn 3. That was kind of impressive, actually.
Oh, his teammate's doing the exact same thing in turn 7, I think that is. Going up into the back straight now. Improving on his lap from sector 1. Is he going to be improving any more onto his lap? By just under 1/10 of a second. So, slight improvement, which will put him maybe up into that P3.
Round 5, he did lose the rear end. That's going to drift it. I don't think he's trying to drift it anyway. And again, he's definitely not on
in his lap.
Those wets are probably dead at this point.
Yeah, them tires.
Yeah, I don't want to order this car gearing glitch.
Yeah. Well, it looks like Bass is around again.
That's isn't it? So it doesn't look like it's easy out there at the moment. Oh, there it goes.
But
I'm struggling to see how the Q3 is meant to be dry.
Yeah. The rain looks like it's getting a lot heavier, to be honest. Especially the dry line is actually like the drier line. It's not really a dry line, it's still soaking wet, but looks like it's still not a lot of the difference between that and the actual wet line, which is the outside line. So I can't see this actually drying up for Q3. If this was drying up for Q3, then miracles have happened. But looks like TTM Sam, the rookie for this season, coming to the pits. That's nice.
Yeah, I think everyone's coming into the... Well, Spencer's going round still.
I think there's a fault. Spence.
Didn't go any faster though.
But the Ferrari off Thermal White is on that lap with old wet tyres. Just losing it nearly through the final corner. But he starts a lap, and I don't know who that is, but I think that's Tadpole at the moment. On a flying lap, maybe?
Well, it's just started
sure.
a flying lap here, so we'll see if the conditions are really this bad or if it's just everyone can't keep control of the car. But the times are a lot, seem to be a bit slower than they were in Q1, which does suggest that the conditions are worse than Q1.
Yeah.
Seeing how we were seeing how many, I said seeing how so many times there, but so many cars were just losing their rear end. So yeah, I would not be surprised if it's absolutely awful to drive out there at the moment.
As we'll stay on board for the rest of Thermal White's lap, heading up onto the back straight in Sector 2. With obviously Corey going faster and hitting the one. Actually, that's his same lap, isn't it? A 1:27.9, I think it was his best lap. I think that might be enough to take the P1 in Q2. I don't think anybody else is going to be able to beat that. Well, obviously, driver behind him is still 3 tenths off, which is Wheeze. Doesn't look the Alfa Romeo boys, obviously being very quick. That doesn't look like they are being able to grip up enough and try to find a wet line and stick with it and be able to improve. But Thermal White come around the last corner. Is he going to be able to get into that top 10 positions with a 1:29? He does, but just.
Also, there's
just.
Tadpole going very slowly around at the moment. He is meant to be on a fast lap, but he's crawling. He's just invalidated that lap as well. I wonder if he's just trying to take it slow to conserve the tyres. He's definitely not out of fuel. He's definitely like speeding up and slowing down. This is definitely a controlled pace. But yeah, I wonder if he's taking it really, really slow to just try and conserve those tyres for a good run. Maybe that's what happened, is the tyres are just dying.
Yeah. Looks like Spence is on a flying lap, but it looks like he's 6 tenths down, so he has maybe lost it or backed off somewhere. So we'll go on board with the next driver, who is on a flyer for a better lap, which is Thermal White, who is 2 tenths up on his time now. So
Spence also on a lap, just coming round.
Is he improved?
I don't actually know, but
he was 6 tenths down on this time at one point. So.
He's cut the final chicane, so I'm going to say yeah.
Corner, so it will be Thermal White. He's 2.5 tenths up in his time now, so that will put him up into that P9 spot at the P8 spot. Sorry, at the moment, which is
2 temps. It'll yeah, P9.
So I might put him into a bit more of a safer position as he comes around the final corner. There's the 28 and there's the 29, and that's only doesn't he lost a lot of time in that final sector. Looks like Toby's going to need to do another lap and try to find a lot more speed, a lot more time. Well, these bottom 3 are going to 100% going to need to find more time. Bass has gone slower, 9.9, a whole second really. Looks like Z-Man's going to come around the final corner, so 8 tenths up, and that's going to put him P9. That is a position into Q3 at the moment.
Pushes
so
the Ferrari
this is going to be an interesting
out.
battle. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting battle for the final spots in Q.
Sam off turn 4 and just rejoin the track now, but that's his lap dub. That's probably his qualifying done as well. Unless
looks like he's letting a few drivers through as well.
Yeah, he's got the
looks like
entire
his teammate's going to be coming
field.
up on him in a second. Toby already 2 tenths up in the first sector, so he's found a little bit of time there. He's going to need to find a lot more though to get through. But I think he's just waiting for the
big crash, Renault, space, big crash.
Oh, that's Bass, 100%. Oh, that'll be him out of qualifying then. No wing as well. How has he not been and retired? How has he not retired that car just by hitting the wall there? That is the whole wing been turned off. Toby now coming to final set. Oh, he's invalidated, and that looks like Toby's going to be out of Q2 as well.
Yeah, Bass lost it through turn 5. We've seen quite a few big names lose it through there as well. Just no rear grip, spins it towards the inside of the track and just hits the wall nose first. completely taken off the front.
Trying to find every little bit of the time they can, and they're just pushing it too hard through there, obviously, and losing it. So that looks like that is going to be your bottom 3 for the rest of this thing, or the end of qualifying, which is Toby only just improving. So that is the reigning world champion knocked out in Q2, Tadpole, which is a big shot, but Bass out in Q2 as well, so that's his run of bad luck still continuing. As well as Toby, which he hasn't had the best luck either at the start of this season. So he's going to be trying to fight his way through the field in P12, so he's going to be able to start on the medium combat tyres as well.
We've got Square on the Inters.
Yeah, and he's improving by a 10th.
Yeah, it's 6 tenths, and when I came on board... Not 6 tenths, 600, sorry. Ooh, just lost it in the final sector. I think running wide at the final corner caused it. Yeah, and thermal
but did it look like the Minters were a little bit quicker than the wets?
Maybe. Maybe that's a hint that it's going to dry out then. And it did dry out towards the end there.
Yeah, so your bottom 3, obviously only having 3 knocked out because of 2 crashes in the previous session. So Tadpole being knocked out, a big shock, obviously the random world champion of last season, and Toby as well as Bass in the Renault. So neither of them 3, none of them 3 have really had the best luck this season, well, the start of this season. So we will try to they'll try to maybe fight from them positions, or maybe just try to fight themselves up into them points. Obviously we have a very, very competitive Q3 session. Z-Man in the McLaren, the man that has had a horrible season since he's driving on that wheel, back into Q3 for, I think, one of the first times this season.
It's also nice to see that White did manage to improve at the end of the session there to be able to just squeeze into Q3 with his teammate. But White definitely the weaker out of the 2 Ferraris, I think, at the moment. Needs to step up his game a little.
This is definitely not going to dry out.
Yeah, this is definitely not a dry Q3. This is the opposite of a dry Q3.
So whoever got that weather report... I don't know, but... Looks like Corey's going to be the first out, which he's normally the first out, so...
We've got movement in the Ferrari garage as well. Both Ferraris coming out. It looks like Red Bull is also going out. That was McLaren. Oh wait, yeah, the Red Bull's already out on track, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Corey, I think he's second in the championship, if I remember correctly as well. Or has he dropped a few places?
Corey is second, yeah. Corey does hold second.
So he's going to be one of them to maybe fight back and try to take that P1 back from Square. So these 2 are maybe going to be battling for this championship this year.
Yeah, it does look like it's going to be another fight between these 2, of course. Tadpole obviously was making as well. Did manage to put a fight to them as well. But at this point, well, Tadpole's not completely out of it. Oh wait, no, that's after Shanghai, never mind. Yeah, no, Tadpole is dropped back by 22 points now behind these 2, so he's not completely out of the picture. Obviously, it's still early days in the championship. We are doing a 22-round championship, but so theoretically, everyone at the moment still has a chance. But yeah, at the moment, the main fight is between Square and Marshall, but Tadpole isn't completely out of it. If he can pull a couple of good results together, he may be able to just close them in, especially if Marshall and Square, you know, don't keep an eye on Tadpole. He is still a threat. He is fast.
Yeah, 100%. If they forget about him in their mind and they make a few mistakes, that Tadpole could 100% come back into this and maybe try to fight back for his defending of his world championship. He knows that's gonna. He's got that. I bet he's got that in his head, and he's going to be thinking that he's got to try to fight for his championship hopes this season. But looks like Corey's going to be the first driver to start his lap with Golden just behind. On the intermediates, it looks like Golden's on.
Yeah, there are a few cars circling on the intermediates, I do believe. I'll have a look. Yeah, both Square and Golden. So both the Alfa Romeos are going to try and mix it up here and use the intermediates. Of course,
looks
we
like
did
that's
see
one of the Ferrari's rounds.
we did see Square on the intermediates at the end of Q2, so obviously thinking maybe that Webber's going to carry through to Q3, maybe even get slightly better. He was lapping around the same place as he was on the wets, so it is completely possible that the Inters may be the better tyre here. We will have to see.
It looks like Thermal White has lost it and put it into the wall a little bit and lost his end plate, so that is him going to be needing to pit and get a new wing from his garage. But it looks like Corey's going to be the first driver to come round to finish his lap. We will... we will see what he does. Is it going to be a 128? No, 127. 8. That's great.
Track's getting faster.
Getting faster and faster and faster. But
down as well.
different tyres compound. With Square obviously finishing that Q3 on the intermediates, has Square seen some pace on them intermediates and knows that they can go a lot quicker than the wets? It's like Joe only does a 128.6, which is better than his Q.
I'm not sure if it's better than his Q2, but it's definitely close. I didn't note his Q2
I think
time,
it's. I think it's a 10th quicker than his Q2. But TDM Sam with a 128.5, which goes puts him P2. So that's a very impressive lap.
Sadly, we're not going to be able to see what Golden Fast can do on the intermediates. He's invalidated, so that's the other Alfa Romeo not setting a time this time round.
It's like the season 2 champion Z-Man's about to come to his lap. Of the McLaren which is probably one of my favourite car liveries this year, with the blue, last year, sorry now, the blue and orange. Obviously having 2 new drivers in real life next year with Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris, so...
Yeah, because obviously they've got Sainz moving to Ferrari, so... Yeah.
There's a lot of new interesting partnerships in real life that I can see maybe working out. But Golden Fast is 100% going to be going out on another lap, which he did a 28.4, which would have put him which would have put him second, sorry.
Could be a timing glitch, but Z-Man just went purple first sector.
Ooh. Has Z-Man secretly found his pace back?
Is it me or is the rain getting lighter? I think the track's starting to dry. I think the track's drying. The rain doesn't look to be coming down as heavy. It is still coming down quite a bit, but it doesn't look to be as heavy as it may have been, say, start of Q1, start of Q2.
I'd say that looks like inter-rain, really, to me. So maybe the Alfa Romeos have got this right. Z-Man coming into the final sector now, trying to grip it up. This is going to be the interesting part. Can he get the chicane right? Just moves away from the apex. He's going to need to get this final bit of final bit of the sector right. Comes round towards the end of his lap. Going to be valid. It's going to be a 20-30. It's going to only be a 30.0.
Yeah, it must have been a timing glitch then. I definitely saw a purple sector in the first sector, but it's known for its glitches.
Yeah. It looks like his teammate's going to be one of the next to finish his lap, but I'm just going to quickly switch on to Golden Fast, who's going to be on his lap. Loses it, and he's going to be pitting for a new set of tyres. But who is that? Spencer's also going to pit. So that is going to be Wheeze that's going to be the next driver to come across the line. So this Wheeze has been actually quite consistent at the moment with getting podiums and high positions in their points. So he could be another one that could be maybe for that P2, P3 in the championship. If he can, maybe he finds a couple of wins. Maybe he can find himself in that championship battle with Corey and Square. But there's only 5 minutes left off quali, so that is P3 for Wheeze at the moment, which is going to knock TTM Sam down to P4. Square finding a lap, which puts him P2, which with a 128.1. The next driver to come across the line will be Z-Man. I don't know if he's on an improved lap, but that's an invalidated lap as well.
I think Wheeze has just ran out of fuel.
Yeah, he has. Looks like TTM Sam's run up, and that is the only driver really on an outlet. So I guess we'll go on board with TTM Sam 4 now.
Yeah, we seem to have hit that low point in Q3. Everyone's just finished their first runs, and now they're going to be obviously in the pits, swapping tyres, and, you know, just waiting for the timer really to tick down so they can go up for their final run. Of course, in conditions like this, you normally want to be the last one across the line as Sam heads towards the gravel.
He went off very quickly there. He's lucky that he didn't hit that wall on the back.
Yeah, managed to slow the car down and avoid a crunch. But
that was a bit odd. All I saw was him go off. I had the TV camera on, so all I saw was him go off into the thing, and I didn't see him hit the wall. That was quite a scary moment for Sam. Lucky it was only his outlap, but he's going to be pitting, so he's going to try to maybe. He's not confident with them tyres. But it looks like Spencer's gone on the inters. A lot of people are going on the inters now, so Corey has as well.
Yeah.
Obviously seeing that Square has done that time, and obviously they feel like the track is dry enough. Well, not dry enough, but the conditions are better enough for them intermediate tyres. So
Squares,
I think the next
inters
driver will be Golden Fast to start his lap.
Yeah, everyone coming out. Z-Man, the only one to come out on the wets then at the end of the session here at the moment. Yet to see what Weeze and Sam are going to come out on, but yeah, everyone opting for the intermediate tyres apart from Z-Man.
Him obviously thinking that he can't control the car with these intermediate tyres, obviously, and you're going to be comfortable on them wets, and maybe you're going to be able to try to find a little bit more time these cars ahead. But that battle, I think anyone's up for grabs for that P1 at the moment. I mean, Corey obviously setting a great time with them intermediates. So, well, no, not intermediates, wet tyres. So if he can find a couple more attempts on that pole time, and that's TTM Sam out of qualifying. So he's retired, which is an on-track retirement because he has left the pit. So he will be maybe penalised for that by holding someone up on the flying lap, which might be holding up Corey here. Corey could be held up on his time here.
See how quickly the AI can get out of the way, really.
It does look like it has gone out on that wet thing, but it looks like it might come in. Ooh! I don't like that at all. Not one bit. But Corey gets through fine, so he's 1/10 down in his time.
Golden Fast
looking like 5 tenths up on his time. Oh, never mind. I said he was 5 tenths up on his time, but he's obviously not. But we'll go on board with Joe's teammate, Golden Fast, who's going to come across the line in a second to set his first lap in Q3. With this looking like it's going to be an okay lap for Golden Fast, which is going to be a 28.3, which puts him P4 for now. It looks like he's going to go straight onto another lap.
Intermediate times.
Yeah.
So much faster than the
Joe
wets
improving
at the
by
moment.
1.1 tenth in the first sector, so he's going to be maybe trying to find them some more time to battle Corey's time. Spence going P2 with a 128 dead, or 1:10.28.0, but yeah.
Here comes White to the line. Slowest. Not great from White.
Looks like that's the end of Corey's qualifying as well. Is Joe Loke going to be able to contend for this top position? If he can find some time in this final chicane, he is going to be contender for that pole position. Looks like it's going to be an okay final chicane. A little bit of snap there though.
Can't chicane, 9 tenths up.
Oh, and Square Guns takes pole! By 700ths of a second, really. Wow.
I'm watching the other Alfa Romeo here, swapped to him. Apparently, again, up purple sector 2. Again, how true that is, I have no idea. 3 tenths up on time, though.
This could be a good lap as well.
It goes pole.
Oh, and he takes pole away from his teammate.
The two Alphas at the moment battling out for top
But it
pole
looks
position.
like it does say that Joe Loke's 2 tenths up on his time, but Corey's 4 tenths up on his time here.
Oh, that's fast enough for pole.
As long as Corey doesn't mess this lap up, I think that might be Corey. We're up on that top spot for now for provisional pole position. So can he get the chicane right? Does look like it's a good chicane, but does he get the best exit off it? It does look like he got an okay exit. No squirmy back end like the Alfa Romeo's had. And they're going to come. He's going to come across the line. Is he going to take pole position? He does by a whole half a second.
Ooh, that's a good time. A lot of people are going to struggle to beat that.
Only 3 tenths up on his time. So Gold and Fast are going to take P2, but is Square going to be able to find the time in this last corner? Is he going to be able to take it? Oh, just missed out by under a tenth of a second. Wow, that was a good last couple of laps. Looks like Z-Man's going to come around.
Z-Man's 3 seconds down. Yeah, that's qualifying.
Wow. That was very close in them last couple of laps by all them top 3 positions. So.
And once again, look who the 2 top drivers are. It's names we're not unfamiliar with.
Yeah. As well as Golden Fast obviously getting his second race, which is a good position for him, P3, and not that far off them top 2 positions realistically.
No,
it did look like he was improving on that last lap. He just didn't get the best ending of his lap, I don't think. So.
No, it's absolutely great to see that both Alfa Romeos are just so confident in these conditions. Obviously, both of them were on the intermediates from the start, so they were reading the weather really well. Obviously, maybe it was a bit too early for the inters. Maybe it was just in that awkward crossover where they're about the same pace. But yeah, they knew what tyre to be on at the right at the time. And yeah. At the end of the day, both Alfa Romeos right up there. So good job for them.
Yeah. Well, that is the end of the full qualifying session. At the end of Q3, your top 10 are Corey is on pole. Shock. Joe Loke, which is Square in P2, followed then by his teammate for the Alfa Romeos in P2 and 3. Akbar in P4, Wheeze in P5, Karthikeyan in P6, which is his best qualifying of the season, even though he's been in 2 races. Spence down in P7, which is a shame. TGM Sam with a great qualifying for him in P8. Thermal White, the other Ferrari in P9. And Z, one of his best, I think his best qualifying of the season, down in P10. So, I don't think he'll be that bothered with just becoming in P10. Maybe he can find them positioned on that first corner, because then I'm sure there'll be some collision somewhere. They can pick up some places. That's fine. As we head into the race, and it's going to be a dry race, so people are going to be people are 100% going to be going for this one-stop strategy of the medium to hards probably. If I see someone on the softs, they're going to be going for a very, very aggressive strategy with trying to find their way through on the soft tyre and get onto that hard. Obviously, being a very hard one-stop here in Spain. I don't think I remember the last time we were in Spain here in F1, but it's a very hard track to overtake on with just obviously the thin track, but the first corner and the back straight heading into that hairpin will probably be the best overtaking spots for today's race. I can see some overtakings around that fast left-hander in turn 3, fast right-hander in turn 3, with some outside moves or maybe some inside moves, but people are going to be wanted to find some time really quickly, because if someone's on the right tyre at the right time, they're going to be able to close that time very quickly. It looks like everyone is ready. It's as it says, a medium to hard strategy for most people, or soft medium, but you can do a one stop around here. We'll have a look at the tyres. Everyone's on the mediums apart from Golden's gone on the hards to start with, which is different to everyone else. So maybe he's thinking hards till the end and maybe squeezing them soft tyres or medium tyres at the end to be faster than everyone else.
Strategy will be mediums to hards, I would have thought, especially with the long right-handers here, putting a lot of wear on the front left. Yep, as there's the predicted pit strategy, it is mediums to hards, or the alternative is soft medium, so that's also an option if you want to be aggressive.
I can't wait to see though what Golden does, obviously being on them hard tyres though. Is he going to be going for that? There is a very hard strategy of the soft to hard around here, but it's just very hard to extend them softs, obviously with the, as you say, the mass wear on that front tyre.
Yeah, the only thing I think of as the reason why Golden wants to opt for the hards here is to try and get off of the same strategy as his teammate. Of course, if they're both from the mediums, then they're both going to be wanting the pit lane at about the same time, and obviously that means you have to compromise one driver. So obviously doing the alternate strategy of going from hards to mediums does mean they're on different strategies, which means they won't need to pit at the same time. But it could also mean that we may see Golden just losing a lot of ground at the start here, because obviously the mediums are a lot quicker to get up into that working temperature range and provide the grip you need on the first couple of laps.
Yeah, as Corey heads toward his pole position grid slot for Spain. So that is everyone getting ready to lock in for the 5 red lights to drop here in Barcelona, Catalonia. Obviously being one of the classic tracks here on the F1 calendar. Been a few, obviously seeing where we saw Pastor Maldonado take the win as we head towards 5 red lights here in Catalonia. It's 5 red lights here, and it's drops.
And it's not go. Someone's jumped the start, have they not there?
5 red lights, and away we go here in Barcelona. It looks like Square's got a decent start, and it looks like the Ferrari of Fon Akbar's got an absolute flyer of a start all the way up into P2. Also, it looks Golden has disconnected though, and then with the Ferrari and the racing points. Square that's disconnected.
Yeah. I'm trying to see.
I will try to invite him.
I haven't.
I will invite him now. Joe.
Oh, I need to do it from the in-game menu. I forgot how this works.
There we go. I got him.
Cool. Yeah, but anyway, yeah. At the moment we see moment trying to get fence on the inside, trying to get behalf both racing points. Take over commentary where you're trying to invite.
Back up into P2, trying to chase down Corey, but Corey's just going to have so much more pace, obviously, on the fresher medium, or on the medium tyre, which has a lot more grip than them hards. But he's doing well to really keep that gap, that distance at the moment. Thermal Akbar having an absolute great start from where he started.
And
I think he started down in P9, P8. P7 or something like that?
Obviously, we were
P9, I think it was.
Talking about Tadpole trying to make a challenge on the top 2 for the championship if they make a mistake. Obviously got knocked out in Q2, so we're already having to make up a few positions. He's already got himself up into 10th place after just getting past DJ there in the final sector. So
also, the man behind DJ, as you say, he's actually had a really good start, down from P16 up into P11.
Yeah, Bass also just made a move around the outside of Sam in turn 1, so that's him up in position. And Finn's round.
Oh, that's a shame for Finn. And that's Luda already in the pits, I think probably for a front wing change. Was he picking some damage up on that first lap? Finn, I don't know if Joe Loke's back in the race. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, Joe's in. Golden fast, wide. Sorry to cut in there, but Golden Fast was off the rear end and went off the track there.
Thermal Akbar's all over his back end now. He's going to try to look around the outside here. Thermal Akbar. Is he going to find the room on the outside? No. And he's under threat already. Kothkane is through on Thermal Akbar, being under threat. Weeds is going to try to follow through, but he doesn't look like he's going to be able to find the room where Kothkane did. So Akbar has lost. Trying to go and move on Golden has cost him down a position. So that is he, a couple of positions. But Tadpole, just a little bit of time lost there, trying to find the back there. But there looks like there's a big group here from P9 all the way down into P12 here. It looks like trying to just slipstream off each other and get some positions up. Looks like Ollie is getting chased down. Already been overtaken by Square, and Square is trying to hook onto this back of this group now, which is going to be get through, but going down the inside here into the final corner of DJ, and DJ has nothing to defend. And JD is up into P. Going to be dropping down into that P12 position. Apart from that,
we already see penalties coming out as well.
Golden already get a penalty, which he was hoping he probably wouldn't have got. Tadpole already getting a penalty as well, a 3-second extending track limits. Corey already extending 2.5 seconds. I think that was someone off at the back. I think that was Ollie off at the back. No.
It's on JD. JD's gone.
Could the weekend for the Williams get any worse? Both of them down in that P17 and P16 position.
Yeah, so
Toby all the way down in P15 as well.
So after the first 3 laps, then our big movers then is a base branch, obviously moving up 5 positions. DJ Perk up
Joe
5
Logan's
as well,
pits, sorry.
and Ollie's now up 6 after square pits.
Joe Logan to the pits, yeah. Maybe going for them, maybe the harder tyres, and maybe trying to find some more time at the end of, well, not the end of the race, but tried to extend them.
D-Man's off wide round turn 3, he's dropping positions left, right, and centre as well because of it.
Yeah, and it looks like he's going to be compromised to Tadpole, and Tadpole's going to take P9, and then Z-Man nearly loses it.
Very well to hold on to the car there. He was completely sideways at one point. Very well held. Sadly, it will put a lot of wear on those tyres though and lost him a lot of time, but at least he's not facing the wrong way.
Looks like Tadpole's already gotten past TTM Sam as well, and TTM Sam's under threat by Z-Man. Z-Man's got through as well on TTM Sam. It looks like TTM Sam might have a problem, but no, it just looks like he just was compromised with obviously going wide there. And it looks like he's going to be compromised soon to DJ as well. It looks like DJ's going to try to make a move around the outside here. No, he thinks better of it and doesn't have enough grip. But looks like DJ's going to be able to try to make a move on CTM Sam, maybe onto the back straight, but he's going to have DRS on Z-Man. Doesn't look like DJ got the best exit out of there, so we'll go and watch Thermal Tadpole, who's trying to make a move. Bass here doesn't get close enough, and it looks like Spencer's made a move as well.
Yeah, side by side with Wheeze there. Very good racing between the two. It looks like Spencer's going to have another look up the inside here into turn 4.
Oh, very aggressive for the squeeze there.
Good clean racing though. And
yeah,
that's
no
Spence
contact.
up in position.
With Wheeze being smart, he's backing out of that and going to try to find some pace somewhere else and maybe try to make the counter overtake happen. Looks like TTM Sam's going to be close to Z-Man here, right on his rear end now, going up towards that back straight.
Yeah, and just in front of them as well. Tadpole all over the back of Bass, as what he said. He needs to make moves up the position. He's definitely going to be one to keep an eye on this race. Not close enough this time though, although it looks like
Sam's gone for a lunge on Z-Man. He's made it move, he's made it work, and they're side by side going in here, and Z-Man's bravely kept it in there. But what a move by Sam, being able to keep that round the outside and keep that position. But it does look like the Williams of Finn's had something, spin maybe at the back there. Looks like Joe Loke has pit for the Mahars, as we said last time.
Yeah, obviously
So
great clean racing we're seeing here. This is exactly what we wanted to see from the top boys. Keeping respect, but really fighting hard as Z-Man takes the position back from Sam there.
Looks like Thermal White's getting overtaken by Toby there, so Toby's up in position. Tadpole, Bass and Tadpole are in a battle now. Looks like Tadpole's been able to get past Bass as well, but these three here, Z-Man, TTM Sam and DJ, all right next to each other. Looks like TTM Sam is right next to Z-Man. He's going to go try to make a move around the outside. If he can make this move stick, what a move by TTM Sam round the outside. But Z-Man's going to try to stick it in there, but he doesn't. And he's being compromised by DJ, and they've made contact. And that's DJ off.
Z-Man's facing the wrong way as well after that, swallowing the gravel trap. Z-Man a big loser from that battle.
Not DJ, I think that might have been... oh, that's the Thermal White off! Thermal White's made a stupid mistake and he's crashed out. He's not out though, but it looks like he will have wing damage. That was a big crash behind DJ, but it did look like Z-Man made a stupid move, maybe trying to defend that position. Maybe he should have thought better of it and backed out. But he doesn't look like he's got wing damage there. No, he doesn't. I don't think either of them do, but...
Yeah, I just watched the move between Z-Man, DJ and, what was it, Sam as well. It just looks like Z-Man just carried a bit too much speed there and lost the rear end because of it, and DJ really just an unlucky bystander just as Z-Man swung round. It may have tagged his front wing. I think he ghosted in time, but obviously DJ slammed on the brakes to try and avoid a crash there and just got unlucky with it. But yeah, it looks very much from what I could see on the stream that it was just a mistake from Z-Man causing him to spin.
It doesn't look like DJ has visually got any damage, but obviously F1 you never know. But it looks like at the back, it looks like Luda obviously getting past there with just the time difference. But it looks like Toby and TTM Sam have gained a lot out of this. Obviously, both of them now up into them points per lane position, so them two are going to be able to try to work together and try to chase down Bass Branch. Golden still being able to only keep that gap at 2 seconds of Corey. So remember, them tyres are going to be, them mediums are going to be going off a lot earlier than these harder compounded tyres.
Yeah, exactly. Golden actually doing really well actually to hold on to the pace at the moment on the harder compounded. Obviously, he's going to be able to go a lot longer into the race. He is meant to be slower at this point, although he is holding on very well. As we see Spence now go around the outside of the Ferrari.
That was a good move by Spence there.
Yeah, very good. It's a shame.
Still 6 seconds behind Golden there.
Shame I was talking about tyre strategies when that happened, but yeah, Golden is meant to be slower at this stage, obviously then with the hopes of being faster on the mediums at the end of the game, but the fact that Golden is being able to keep pace at the moment with Corey Marshall, just keep that gap at 2 seconds, puts him in a really good place when he puts on those mediums at the end.
Yeah, 100%. It looks like this pack behind the top two though, with Spence, Thermal Akbar, Wheeze and Carter Kayan. Them four are going to be battling, which is going to be allow them, maybe them top two, to build more of a gap. With Tadpole obviously trying to chase that down. With, I think during that little bit of thing, it looked like someone's made a mistake. Corey's made a mistake!
Corey's made a mistake! This is big. This is big for Golden because now obviously the person he was trying to keep pace with is no longer in front of him, and he leads the race despite being on the harder set of tyres. This is perfect.
Which is absolutely astonishing because he's going to be able to... Oh, he's disconnected. Oh, I'm going to try to get him back in as quick as we can.
Yep, can you do that?
That is... Yeah.
Alright, so... yeah, so... Golden obviously disconnecting, which is really upsetting though, but Corey Marshall making a mistake then through the final sector. Now he's got Akbar and Spence all over the back of him. Of course, Spence now trying to look for a move on Akbar. Trying around the outside, not quite close enough. Now does it for the inside into turn 4. It looks like he's going to go up the inside of the Ferrari and makes the move done. Very nice there work from their Spence. Now he can try and move on the championship lead at the moment of Corey Marshall. No, sorry, that's wrong. Corey Marshall dropped down to second. That's my bad. Does get a wheel onto the grass actually. But yeah, no, Spence up into third place now and trying to hunt down a second place from Corey Marshall. At the moment, Akbar trying to hold on to the back of the Force India, obviously, Racing Point. Now with the DRS open, not going to get close enough though, so it does look like that move is going to stick, at least for now.
Doesn't look like Corey's going to get past Golden there, who has sadly disconnected. That's going to be him dropping down a lot of positions. Obviously the AI being a lot slower than someone actually else is driving, so he's going to be able to having to join back as soon as he can to try to fight back them positions he's just lost.
Yeah, obviously the AI here is set to 40%. It's the default you get when you first get the game, and anyone that's ever played a racing game before will be able to drive much faster than 40% AI, so it's really unlucky that Golden Fast here has disconnected, especially when he was in such a good position with the tyre strategy.
Yeah, as Thermal gets a 3-second penalty down in that 18th position at the moment. Jolo who got P2 down in P16, obviously being on the harder set compounded tyres. Still being able to close that gap a lot to Z-Man, though. I think the gap was a lot bigger than that. So Thin RTL chasing down Ollie, who's in his last race this season, Ollie, and he's going to be going, obviously, as I said before, into his managerial role. But it looks like Golden Fast has dropped down P6 now.
Yeah, he still hasn't
He's just dropping
back,
positions left, right, and centre. I will send him another invite just to see if he can get back in.
Bass is all over. Of course, another thing with the AI as well is as soon as you get alongside them, the AI just like pulls over and slows down because it doesn't want to get in the way of the people actually still playing. As Bass actually looked like he probably lost the front end there. That was a bit twitchy there from the Renault, but obviously he got the Mercedes pressuring him from behind at the moment. But at the moment, it does look like Bass will be able to hold on to that position. Of course, Sam is now going to have DRS and is going to get a really nice run all the way down the back straight. Well, front straight even. Looking for the outside of turn 1. Not going to be able to do it there. Trying to switch back. He will have the inside for turn 3 if he keeps it there. The Renault really squeezes him there. Very, very, I guess, questionable might be the right choice of word there. I don't think it was quite enough for a penalty, but yeah, not exactly the cleanest of racing, but
yeah,
there's a lot on the line for these drivers, of course.
A lot of close racing still going on here, which is a big surprise because I thought everyone would be a bit more spread out. Obviously, the field being a lot spread out, a lot of pace. But TTM Sam going to be on a run on Bash Branch, maybe going to try to find a move into this turn. He thinks about a dive bomb, so he's going to be able to try to maybe on that first main straight. Doesn't look like Golden even is back in yet, so he's down in P9. P10, Golden's nearly out of the points. He's going to be out of the points very, very soon because JD is going to be right there, so I'm not sure what's happened to Golden.
Yeah, no, this is really unfortunate for Golden. I have no idea what's going on, but I'm going to try and pull up
died, apparently.
Discord. Say again?
His Xbox died. I'm in a group chat with him. It looks like...
Oh, that's not what we want to see.
It's the game crashed his phone.
Oh. That's really unlucky.
Yeah.
Also, there's a Ferrari stopped.
I think that'll be Thermal Y. He's
Yeah,
down to P18.
White.
He hasn't had the greatest race today.
After
Ollie
12
down
laps,
in
he's about to be lapped.
16 now with a pit. So I think this is around the time we'll see these medium riders running pitted for this hard.
Golden fastest back. Golden fastest back. So he is back in this race. But he does. I want to say he has a chance, but I think it's completely out the water now. It's really unlucky that the game crashed his Xbox there.
Yeah. But that is going to be him losing another position before he can go back in the game. DJ. So. I think the only reason Golden Fast maybe getting back into this is if he can. Sorry, he probably will need now. So Jolo is on his hards, which will probably have to pit again though. But that is another driver pitting, Kane, who's going to be onto the harder combat tyres as well. This is around the time we'll see a lot of the drivers pitting for the harder compound. Spence trying to chase down Corey, but Corey looks like he's built a gap, a little bit of a gap to Spence. Not a big gap, but it looks like there's a small, wait, what the hell? On my screen, when I look back on Corey's, it doesn't look like Thermal. Wait, is that Thermal White behind Corey now?
Yeah, Thermal got lapped. Thermal got lapped.
Yeah, that was really weird because it looked like I could see Thermal Akbar behind him and no Spence.
No, it's White. White's been lapped. It's, Golden Fast trying to make up positions, trying to make a move on Finn, but just ran out of road on the outside, so has to stay behind at the moment. Oh, Finn's actually lost it, he's got to the back!
The day couldn't get any worse for Golden at the moment, sorry.
Yeah,
Not a great start of the race, but just obviously that happening. But it looks like Tadpole is pitting as well.
Finn got slightly off the track and just lost the rear end of the car because of it, and obviously not being able to react in time. Golden just goes straight into the back of Finn. It's a complete racing accident, but that's really unlucky for Golden, especially after everything that's happened to him this race. He does pit now, and that will be for a new front wing.
Yeah, sorry, just dying. Yeah, it looks like Corey though at the moment is obviously going to be going on to the harder compound tyres soon, so he's going to be trying to do a lot. But it looks like Golden is now onto the medium combat tyre with a front wing change.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to do medium.
I may be medium. No, I think the mediums will make it to the end. Obviously, these tyres going to lap 14. He'll be able to extend them probably 3 or 4 laps. Maybe he might be able to make this to the end of the...
I'd say he'll be pushing it, you'll be risking punches. Obviously, I have no experience racing Golden, if he's good or not on his tyres. If he is, then he might be able to make them to the end. If not, he may have to make another pit for softs, and he may be praying for a safety car.
Both of the Ferraris going around one more time. Oh well, Akbar going around one more time, and the top two, who were the top two, Corey and Spence, going into the pits. Bass as well coming into the pits, as well as the Williams and Thermal JD, as well as Toby as well. So this could work out for Carthage Kane here, gaining a couple of positions here. Spence now leaving the pits, Corey already out of the pits, so them two aren't going to be Carthage Kane's positions. But Carthage Kane's going to dart up into that P4 maybe, and he might be able to catch Thermal Akbar when he comes back out.
Yeah, it's gonna be close. I think Akbar may have Carthage Kane.
No, I think he will be just ahead by a couple of seconds. So
it's definitely close. They will be really close on track, but
yeah,
I'm obviously not quite sure what a time loss is for a pit stop here. I'm just going based on 20 seconds, and the gap at the moment is 23. So it's definitely going to be close.
You want to understand it's just going to be touch and go, but it does look like it could be Carthage Kane to actually get past him.
We'll find out now as
we'll
Akbar's
see now.
in.
Is he going to beat Akbar out of the pits? As Akbar just comes to the pits now, he's going to be into his box. As Carthage Kane now coming around the final corner now, as Spence heads towards the pit lane exit. It's going to be very close on the exit here. And no, I think Akbar has got out just ahead, but he's slow. As Carthage Kane chasing, there's a big gap. It looks like there. So he's ahead by a couple of seconds. It looks like Thermal Akbar.
Yeah.
But
so like you said, I think Akbar did have enough time there to keep Carthage Kane behind. So.
Yeah. Looks like there's a good battle here though between Bass and TTM Sam, but it looks like Tadpole's disconnected now.
I missed that.
I did too. So I'm going to invite Tadpole back to the game. I think his name is IRL Tadpole now, right? Isn't it?
I'm trying to find his name on. No, it's XFR Tadpole.
So that he's still using his old account then? That's odd.
Yeah, as someone was getting wiggly back there, I don't know who that was. I quickly flicked on them and then flicked back off of them again, but yellow flag's out. That's a hash round.
Is that Luda?
From
wing. Looks like Joe Loke's up into P8 now, with obviously getting past Joe Loke. It does look like Joe might be trying to extend these hards a very long way, so he might actually have to pit again. Odd for him, but it looks like very odd strategy. Let's try.
I mean, if they still got to go for it, I guess.
Yeah, if not, then he's going to try to come field.
Yeah. Carthage Kane picking up
Carthage Kane. He's got past Thermal Akbar. Might have spun or something because it looks like he's a lot way ahead of him now.
Yeah, 5 seconds. So we've missed that somewhere, but there's a Ferrari disconnected actually as Luda's out.
They were going to have to.
That was White. Sorry, he's not disconnected. He's just being lapped. That's why he's ghosting. And yeah, safety comes down. Oh, Luda may have just crushed it into the pit wall. His car's on the final corner.
Which could be a good time for Finn to pit. So Finn is going to be pitting, and he's going to gain a little bit of time in the pit stop here. So he's not going to drop all the way. Virtual safety car, but it does look like he might be out Golden, which I don't think he'd have beaten out Golden if he'd off pit. Well, then, but Golden isn't going to Finn.
Finn's long way down. He's the point, just trying to find a way to try and get a point or two. Is White is also out now.
Yep, I'm surprised there hasn't been a safety car yet, to be honest. And sadly, Ollie and DJ, the man that got a podium last week, all the way down to P15. That is a long way down for the one that got a podium last week. Obviously, a lot of the but Ollie and he's going to be getting.
Between DJ and Ollie at the moment, right on the track as well.
He lost it on the back straight. Virtual safety car.
Yeah, by the way, Tadpole's still yet to reconnect, so not sure what's happened there. one thing I am actually surprised of yet is Golden's not really making any positions up the field. Of course, as you said, we have got this little train forming here. Of course, this back and fight Corey Marshall is a long way back at the moment. So definitely need to try and make some inroads on the race leader at the moment.
Look like about to get back in. So looks like Joe for that position. Obviously, both of them getting past Bass. Does this may have lost it somewhere? Well, not, but he was quite a bit ahead of Joe. But Joe a bit of damage. He's going wide and he's going to have to let the move go for TTM Sam. That was a very, very aggressive move by Square there.
An easy move with S down the inside into turn, not able to put any chance of him trying to fight back now.
Also looks like Joe has got free now. Sorry to butt in. Does square through on TTM Sam. That was completely on his own fault there, just going into that corner, but it looks like his teammate's going to be right on his rear end now. Teammate's going to get through as well. That's Toby up into P9, and TTM Sam just lost it on that that exit into that left hander there. So, is Joe Loke in a decent position now? Only still on like 15 lap old hards though, so I don't think these hards are going to be able to make it to the end. A little bit of tyre wear I can see. Only Joe Loke's lost it! Oh, we're nearly hitting the pit wall there.
White's left the session, but he's out, so that's all good.
Yeah. Doesn't look like, I think the gaps are big, they're making a bit of the gaps having a bit more distance now, but Square is going to be hoping for a couple of these drivers ahead of him maybe to find some penalties or something. But Corey and Spence having a lot, oh, not a lot of penalties obviously, not having a single penalty. Bass as well as Thermal JD not even got a penalty. It looks like DJ all alone at the back here though, just having not a lot of fun today. Both of the Mercedes probably the closer battle on the track, but they ain't gonna be battling I don't think. But it does look like Thermal JD going to be trying to find his way towards Wheeze, who has lost 2 positions to where he started.
Yeah.
Joe Loke's going to be trying to hunt down that Bravo.
It seems like this is the bit where the race starts to change gear. We go from a lot of action and climb, like tight racing, so now just who can hold on to these tyres, who can make the tyres go to the end. Obviously then the final pushes are going to come at the end, obviously, so the better you can keep your tyres towards the end, the harder you can push to try and make those final positions. But it does look like at Route 1 at the moment it's just going to calm down a little and just conserve tyre life.
Yeah. Especially, I think Square's going to need to conserve tyre life if he's going to try to push these hards to the end, but I don't think these hards are even going to make it to the end, to be honest.
We'll see. Obviously, the mediums last 14 laps, and he's only got, what, another 11 laps to go, so that's going to be, what, 28 lap old hards. He has done most of the race. He may look to go on to maybe the softs towards the end if he can find a gap to come out into, although it does look like there's a load of people really close behind him. So I don't know what gap he's going to try and come out into, but he may look for the softs at the end.
Yeah. Looks like Corey still comfortably ahead of Spence though. It doesn't look like Spence, obviously, I think Spence is obviously doing the exact same thing as you said, conserving his tyres. I think everyone is really now, isn't they?
The only one I would
really
say would probably not want to conserve his tyres is obviously Golden's Fast, because he's on the mediums. He's either got to make these positions in pit or he's going to lose a lot of time.
Trying to hook onto that Mercedes TTM Sam, who obviously had that spin just a little while ago in the second sector. Looks like Thermal JD is closing up to Wheeze though, getting only 4/10 away, and obviously only having Bass 7/10 ahead of him. So these three are probably going to be the closest battle on the grid.
Tap hole. Is Tap hole back in the session? Did we get Tab pop back in?
Yes, I think
Cool.
so.
Because I've just realised I've been active in the server and he was screaming at me.
Yeah, he's back in.
Cool.
Golden still trying to hook onto these Mercedes, but even if he gets past his Mercedes, he's got to close another 5.7 seconds just to catch this Williams of JD. But we'll go on board with Wheeze, who's right on the back of Bass Branch now. Is he going to try to find a move, maybe into this first corner? If he can get a good exit, can he get a better exit than Bass Branch? But no, he doesn't look like he has. But he's got a lot of VRS. How much Bass and how much does Bass does? Bass has got less than 10%. He'll be able to see that on Bass's back of his flashing light. He's not even using ERS. He's not even going to try to make a move on Bass, it doesn't look like.
Nah, I don't think he's close enough at the moment. Just trying to stay behind. Obviously use the DRS to keep close. Spain's a really harsh track to overtake just because obviously we have...
Yeah, Golden's past TTM Sam, sorry about in there, but I don't know how he's closed that gap that quickly, but the medium's obviously shining with the grip at the moment.
Yeah, but yeah, with this fast corners around Spain, it's very hard to try and follow a car, so it is just a lot of waiting really. Just wait for the car to make a mistake really in front of you and then you can pounce. Over that, you just got to be like just so much more faster than the car ahead to be able to make a move here. So it is at the moment just a waiting game. Of course, Bass will be feeling that pressure from the McLaren behind. So he's got to make sure he just makes no mistakes here and, you know, doesn't give Wheeze the chance to pounce.
Yeah. It looks like Thermal JD is back on the back of Wheeze now, though. So them three are going to be maybe trying to stick together and DRS train off Bass, just to conserve maybe a little bit of fuel.
I think Wheeze has got upriders.
But Wheeze is gone for it. Bass gone defensive. He's going to try to go around the outside. Bass closes right on the outside line. Squeezes Wheeze as much as he can, but it does look like Wheeze is going to try to keep it around the outside. Yeah, but it looks like Thermal JD's going to come into the battle here. Maybe. No, but Wheeze has gone off the track a little bit. He's going to go side by side, around the outside a bit more maybe. Here Wheeze. And it looks like Bass has been and done well defended. But these three are very close now.
I don't think it's over just
look
yet.
around the outside again. He's got the better exit here though, Wheeze. But can they go side by side at this corner? We haven't seen it today because it's quite difficult to do. You know, if people they have spun. But yeah, Wheeze all over the back of Bass now.
We saw the other McLaren spin there because of a similar battle, but thankfully this one hasn't, in keeping it in a straight line.
Yeah. Does look like Wheeze and Thermal JD though are all over the back of Bass. But it does look like Wheeze has used a lot of his ERS. But looks like Thermal JD sitting on 70% of ERS here. Bass only sitting on 20. But so these cars ahead of Thermal JD look like if he can use a little bit of his ERS, which is very powerful in this game, can he use it and try to find his way past Bass? But Wheeze already using all of his ERS down this straight. Thermal JD closing. But it's just not a long enough straight for him. He needs to get a better exit off that. But it does look like Bass didn't get a very good exit off turn 2 there, which Wheeze is going to be trying to find a space, but he's not getting close enough really. Well, he's close enough, but he's just waiting for that mistake, as you say, to happen with Bass. But it looks like Bass did make a mistake of dipping into the grass there. Spence, P2, obviously getting a penalty 3 seconds.
Yeah, this is a lot different from what I'm just waiting for a mistake. This is now trying to force a mistake. You see Wheeze going really aggressive now, of course, having more ERS. He's done that saving stage that I said about conserve the tyres, save the ERS, and now he's being able to launch a full force attack on Branch. Just trying to, like, shove a nose up the inside, you know, just, like, say, hey, Bass, I'm here, and if you make a mistake, I'm taking that position from you. He is just trying to search for weaknesses at the moment and just trying to force a crack open.
Yeah. It does look like he's trying to do that very, like, pressure. He's literally right on the rear end. He has been for a couple of laps now. He's going to maybe trying to move into this first corner using all of his ERS he's got. But it does look like Thermal JD is not far enough back, so Wheeze doesn't have to worry. But Bass is going to have to worry now. Is Wheeze going to think of a move? He doesn't think of a move like Square did on Bass, but Bass obviously defended that. and but then later got on to overtake. Bass has gone a bit wide there. Weeze's foot has gone closer, but it does look like Bass has pulled a bit of a smaller gap. But Bass has touched the grass there. Has that affected his exit? But Weeze has lost it, and that's going to be a big crash. And that is Thermal JD out of the race, and he's just a bystander. And Weeze has just lost it, and that's just taken him out of the race. That was completely. That was just Weeze losing it, and I felt really bad.
Of course, we saw him dip a wheel onto the grass, but then just loses the rear end. There's the virtual safety car. But he just dropped a wheel on the grass and just lost completely.
That's a very big shame for Thermal JD.
McLaren, right? You know, when you're racing close together like that, they're in to react. If a crash happens, you're just a passenger. It's gonna.
That's a big. Still in the race, but if I was him, I'd have been nice and maybe retired from the race just to be polite. But he's F1, and you've got to be like that. Sometimes he doesn't. Or actually, he's thinking about. He might have thinking about it actually.
Going for the pit lane. A bit very late for the pit lane. I'm not sure.
Maybe he might be retiring.
I don't know.
Doesn't look like Tadpole got a drive through penalty though.
Commitment cone rule in TFR, but that if we do, then that was definitely a breach of it. That was a very late dive for the pit lane. But yeah, Tadpole drive through.
I don't know what that was for. Maybe about speeding
under VSC.
It looks like Joe Lokes all the way on the back end of Thermal Akbar now though. Caught a very big gap to close that, but Akbar still 10 seconds to find that with them obviously tyres. Taking this from lap 4, them tyres look absolutely dead. So he's going to want to try to. I think the best position that I think Joe can hope for maybe is this P4, which I think he'd be alright with after obviously what happened in the start of this race. Bass and Golden right near each other now. Or Bass trying, Golden trying to close up on him, sorry, not near him, it's not really that close. Does look both of the Mercedes are still right next to each other, though. Doesn't look like anything's going to happen though, but TTM Sam's closing in on Toby. And we will go on board with Joe Loke, just trying to close in on
Tadpole's in the service penalty.
Yeah, that's going to him be dropping away from them points positions. He's not going to have a chance really to close that gap. Z-Man obviously getting past him now.
Yeah. I'm just trying to look at the tyre strategy. He's obviously squared 24 lap old hards. He's definitely got to go to the end here, so he's going to be in a worse spot here. But obviously on the back of Akbar, Golden Fast is obviously on the same lap mediums as Bass. In fact, Bass actually has a lap younger hards. So you would feel like Golden may be dropping off the pace here, but yet still able to put a fight. You can see these people on really old tyres that should be going slow, and yet they're just closing in on people and putting a fight to them. It's amazing driving to see.
Yeah. But it does look like he's got a good exit though, Golden, so he's going to be able to use all of his ERS here at DRS to close down this position. He goes to the left. He's going to easily make this position before the corner, and Bass is not going to make anything defensive against it. But Golden's now got to think, can he drive away from Bass and maybe pull into a gap where he doesn't have any threat, obviously getting more penalties and losing anything to Bass. We'll have a look at the penalty situation now. Golden's on 9 seconds and Bass is on 3 seconds, so he's going to need to pull a 6-second gap here, Golden.
Yeah, penalties may come
Cartha Kayan on 18!
Ooh, that's not a good sign. Penalties can really change up the order.
Maybe this P4, maybe whoever gets P4 could get that P. Oh, it's going to be close, you know. That's going to be a very close. If he gets another penalty, that's him 100% going to be out of that position. So let me have a look at the race director of Cartha Kayan. Where is he? P3. After his last penalty, he's had 2 warnings. So if one more warning, if Cartha Kayan gets one more warning, he's 100% going to be off that podium. I can't see him being on that podium after these 2 cars ahead. So Joe's going to have to hope he can get past Thermal Akbar and just try to obviously pull a smaller gap. But well, a bit of a gap to him, but it does look like Malakbar has got the pace at the moment to defend from Joe. Looks like these hards are 100% going on dropping off now. Like if they weren't before, they have now. So.
All right, we've just had.
It looks like there's a.
Sorry, go on.
It looks like there's a little bit of a crash there. As I said, DJ's in the wall.
Oh, that's not.
And that's DJ 100% out of this race. He's got no wing. Wouldn't surprise me if he pits now and takes the retirement.
Tap holds out.
Yeah, I think he retired in the pit lane. But as far as I can see right now, it does look like Corey Marshall is going to take this win in Spain. He's got 2 more laps and he takes it. But these two, I didn't even notice this. Both of the Force Indias, sorry, Racing Points, battling now up here. So we'll go on board with these for a lap until it looks like Corey is going to take this. So until Corey takes it, but it does look like DJ is in the pits. It doesn't look like he's going to DNF. Doesn't look like he's going to take that, but so at the moment it does look like he's going to take that P13.
It looks like who was it that went into JD? Was that Wheeze?
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like Ben from McLaren here has just posted into the Discord server that it was a snap of oversteer that caused them to go into JD. So it was just Wheeze losing the rear end of the car as we assumed, and just colliding with JD. JD just wrong place, wrong time really, and just got collected in an accident that wasn't his fault.
I think that would be a racing incident, sadly, but for thingy. But that looks like one of the Mercedes is round. That's probably TTM Sam.
It's Toby.
No, Toby's round. Sorry. I think I'm going to have wing damage, and that's going to be an easy position for Finn. And luckily enough for Toby, he's going on towards the last lap, so he's going to he'll probably stay out with that wing damage.
I mean,
he's got a decent
24
gap,
seconds behind him, yeah, so he can easily. Oh, never mind. See, it's now just dropped. So yeah, he's just got to hold on. Yeah.
Should be able to hold on. It doesn't look like he'll be able to close in 1 lap. So, but as Corey is going to be heading towards the final few corners very soon, but we'll go on board with these two just before the end of this thing. It does look like Spencer's got one more time to try to overtake Carthagena. Here, looks like Joe's dropped off, but doesn't look like make the move on Carthagena. So, as he comes through the last couple of corners here and comes around the final corner, your winner in Barcelona is third in the season. So that's another 25 points added to his total. Carthagena going second, 2-3 for the racing points. So that's going to be a lovely amount of points for their constructors. 5 and 6 for the Alfa Romeos, and don't forget about Thermal Akbar that comes home P4 for that Ferrari.
Yeah, that means Corey.
I think Joe Luke's run out of fuel.
Who?
Joe. Square.
He's got a puncher front left. Puncher front left. Joe couldn't hold on to the tyres long enough. 29 laps caused the tyres to snap.
He obviously thought that them tyres could go, but just before the end they dropped off, and Finn comes home in P9. Toby's going to be able to bring maybe points home for the Mercedes as well. Z-Man right on the back rear end, and it doesn't look like Toby's got a problem. Toby's run out of fuel, I think. He's going to be close to the end here.
Toby had plenty of fuel, he just got bad exit, I think.
Okay, yeah, and that's the end. Wheeze coming home P11 after that crash with Thermal JD. So that is your race in Barcelona. Corey bringing home the win for the Red Bull. Looked like a very comfortable drive for him today, I think. He didn't really have anybody pressure him after, obviously, after Goldham got past him, but after his little spin, but that was probably about it, and he'd just be able to fight back and get past them, get them position back after the Golden.
Yeah, it's really upsetting what happened to Golden there, because I really think Golden was in a great position to really put a fight to Corey Marshall, and of course the DC, and then not being able to get back into the game for so long just really threw his race away. I really think Golden could have been up there challenging for the win, if not a very easy podium for him, but Unfortunately, we didn't get to see his alternate strategy because just some bad luck today, and it happens. It gets the best of you. You can't beat yourself about it. Can't blame yourself for what isn't in your control, and at the end of the day, it just so happens that it just ruined a good race. But yeah.
Yeah, as it definitely happens to the best of us. Everyone has it. I've had it. Stevie's had it. Everyone's had it. So there's your top four, there's your top three today's race. Two Scottish men, Corey and Thermal, getting on the podium as Spence takes second for home for the British people, for the British. But as always, remember, go and follow our Instagram with Thermal Network. Go and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Thermal Network on YouTube, and remember to follow us on Twitch. As always, this is the end for me and Stevie. Stevie, I think you'll be here next week, won't you?
I'll be here tomorrow. I'm commentating Tier 1 for TFR,
tomorrow, TFR.
Same
Tier
time
1
tomorrow,
will be on.
8:30. Come along.
Yep. So, as always, remember, TFR, the only league for you. Peace.